What's up, my dudes? The Diesel back at it again, bro. Oh my god. Does Dungey's number not just perfectly match him at this point? Like, holy shit, dude. If I've ever seen a fifth place dude in my entire life in this motocross supercross shit, it is Ryan Dungey. And he comes out and he does it again. Fifth place in both of the motos after missing 6 years. It doesn't matter. Dungey can totally be retired for 6 years. He's going to come right back out and get fifth place in both of the motos. Yeah, I don't really think anybody certainly was probably not expecting Dungey to do that good at the first part of like Moto 1 and 2. I think it was a little more in Moto 2. He damn near pulled the whole shot in Moto 2. Like, he looked really good at the start of the race, like even better than a top 5 at the start of the race. And boy, it just makes you wonder, did Dungey just get a little bit tired, after, obviously after not pro racing for 6 years? I mean, that's just like expected at that point, right? But my point being, though, is like, just imagine when Dungey gets another 2 or 3 rounds under his belt. Are we gonna fucking see Dungey in the fucking running for this championship right now, bro? Oh my god. I remember making a couple videos on Dungey before all this, and I was like, I think I said something along the lines of Dungey would be lucky to probably get like a top 5. Oh, bro. And he already did it in the very first moto, so it's kind of changing my outlook here pretty much completely on Dungey this year in outdoors. It kind of started as he was saying he was only going to do the first 2 rounds, so I was like, oh, Dungey's just kind of, he's doing a little couple round farewell kind of thing. Like, I didn't think he was going to be that serious with it, right? But all of a sudden, the info came out he was going to do all the rounds. Holy shit, Smithy boy. All that info came out, and then it all kind of started changing around. Bro, I swear to God, this KTM on Reflex feels exactly like you're riding with Dungey's style on the bike, dude. That's a little bizarre thing. I swear, Reflex is just God tier like that, dude. There's just so many things in this game that's like, how in the fuck did they make that close to the way it is in real life? But anyways, yo, I can't believe Dungey did this, like, already getting 2 top 5s. And like I say, he was up there in podium position for, at least half of the race. I know in the second moto, and he was staying up there pretty good even in the first moto too. So, boy, if he can continue this momentum, you think about it, like Dungey getting a 5th place in both of the motos at the first round of an outdoor series, that's not really any worse than you would expect Dungey to have ever done before. He really is not riding that much worse at all, if at all, than he was riding back before he retired. I mean, it might look like he's, like I say, he might just be losing a little bit of his juice, a little bit of his mojo, a little bit of his focus there towards the like second half of the moto. But other than that, I mean, I think it's basically in a nutshell the exact same Dungey that you had 6 years ago, which is just, I don't even know how to explain it, dude. I was not expecting this at all out of Dungey. Normally I'm the T-Sipper predictor, but damn, I did not expect Diesel Dungey boy to come out and do this. Like, I just didn't think he was going to be able to do it that quick. That was the whole thing. I mean, I expected Dungey to probably get up there to a podium position like round 3 or 4. I figured he would probably do it in one of the races, just knowing Dungey. You can never count Dungey out. God damn it. I mean, he just gives you all the reasons in the world that you just can never count the guy out. Even if he's been retired for 6 years, bro. Oh my gosh. I mean, are we going to see Dungey in Supercross next year? Like, this is bringing up all kinds of questions. Dungey doing the fist pump after getting the double top 5s. Shoo! This is so badass to see, though. I love when there's like an upset or there's something that people didn't really expect, you know. I feel like I saw kind of what Villapoto did when he did the little, let me try to come back for the Monster Energy Cup or whatever, and he just really wasn't all that impressive, but we really didn't get to see Villapoto try to come back in a full-blown national like that. You know, here I am sitting here thinking, man, it would have been a lot tougher for Dungey to have come back in Supercross or something like that. I know he kind of talked about doing that like a couple years ago. Everybody thought he was just like playing around, like it was kind of like, oh, sure, Dungey, you know. And I think Supercross would have been a little more difficult for him, like if he'd have come back at Anaheim 1, you know, or something like that. I do think it would have been a little more tricky for Dungey to have hopped right back in and gotten a top 5 like that. You know, when these motocross guys, they've been doing this shit their whole life, like, and the fact that, like I'd mentioned in my video before, the fact that Dungey, you know, he's going back to the same team, Roger DeCoster, that whole thing he was on, and built up, literally Dungey is the guy that built that shit up into what it is. You know what I'm saying? This modern day KTM age that we know of, that was because of the Dunge. So, but I do remember mentioning that in one of my videos before this motocross season started. I remember mentioning, like, bro, there is that chance that Dungey could just come out there and be basically the exact same rider because he's going back to all of the exact same things. Of course, I still didn't expect him to do this good. You know, I just straight up didn't. I thought the bike being different would have made more of a difference. And, you know, just the fact that Dungey hasn't been behind the gate of dudes like that in 6 years, you know, you would have thought it would have made more of a difference than it did. I do think not having, like, dudes like Adam Cincerillo or Cooper Webb or Marvin Musquin or some of these other kind of guys, I do think that does help Dungey a little bit, but at the end of the day, it don't fucking matter. Dungey's still getting them top 5s, you know what I mean? I'm certainly not trying to take anything away from Dungey. I just still do believe, I think that would have made a difference. We saw quite a spread out of the field in both of the 450 motos, other than obviously Chase Sexton and you know, Ken Roczen, but they were way out in the front. You know, it wasn't like third place was kind of close to them. And then it seemed like you had 2 or 3 dudes there in the middle, like the Craig and Tomac right there in the middle, and they were split from the 2 guys in the front. And then Dungey had quite a bit of a gap back, you know, going from 4th to 5th. So they were pretty spread out, but, you know, and that kind of goes to show that, like, you know, Dungey would have to make up like a good 50-plus seconds in that second moto if he would have been trying to go for the win, right? Again, not trying to take anything away from Dungey, but obviously you expect Anderson to finish better than Dungey at this point. You obviously expect Barcia to finish better. They both had a crash on the first corner of the second moto. So I think there's a couple things that'll be interesting how they play out in the next couple races. I think Dungey, if he's wanting to keep up there like that, he needs to keep his focus, because all these other guys like Anderson and Barcia, I feel like they're just gonna get better, and I even think Dungey should get better too. But I'm just saying, even though he did this good, like, he's still got competition. There ain't no doubt about it. You know, it's kind of weird. I mean, it's like, yeah, I am surprised by Dungey. I'm more surprised by Dungey doing as good as he did, like, in the first half of the motos. That's the part that I'm just, like, blown. I was not expecting him to be that far up front in both the motos and damn near pulling the whole shots. I mean, that just seems like that would be so fucking hard to do, to get that mental shit back to you, to be able to do that after 6 years of not doing it, you know? It's just like, it just shows the crazy-ass mental, like, willpower, you know, winning championship, knowing you can fucking do it, kind of willpower coming out of Dungey here. It's just really cool to see this, you know? So either way, I was going to let some of you members know, some of you Dudeski members know out there. Make sure you check the community tab. I've got quite a few members-only videos on there now, and I also have those members-only videos on my front page of my channel. Just scroll down a little bit. But yeah, just reminding some of you members out there, be sure and, you know, check that membership page, that community part of that membership page, and it will have all of those members-only videos right there. If you miss the actual members-only specific notification for it. But yeah, Dungey doing it to him again, bro. Like, I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked because Dungey is Dungey. You know what I mean? I should have known better than to try to say, oh, Dungey'd be lucky to get a top. I should have fucking known better. And that's why I said at the end of that video, you know, there is that chance that Dungey could come around and totally shock everybody and do better than anybody thought he would. You know, I did say that. I do remember saying that, but I still wasn't really thinking he was going to come out and do this right here, you know. And if he comes out and does, like, better than a top 5 in the next race, then you're in for some serious shit right here, you know. You're in for some serious, like, championship contender type shit, which is just unbelievable. But the fact that, like, Dungey and Villopoto and some of these dudes retired really pretty early in their ages, it still kind of gives them that opportunity to where they can come back so many years later and not really be that old, you know? Like, what is Dungey, like 32 or some shit? I mean, he's not even that old. You know, you think about, like, Christian Craig just getting into the 450 championship, and he's almost the same age as Dungey after Dungey did all that shit in the 450 championship and took 6 years of retirement and is coming back, and they're almost the same age. That's pretty crazy, bro. And didn't finish all that different at all in the finish of this shit right here, right? So either way, man, Dungey's awesome for this one, dude. He's awesome for this one, dude.